I thought heroin was for a junkie in an alleyway. I never thought that my loving family would be affected by heroin, but the reality is that everybody's affected these days. My brother found heroin and he started using it in North Carolina, and he came home to our house for a holiday, and he walked in the backyard with my mom and he said, "Mom, I have a problem. I've been using heroin." And off he went to rehab. At this point in time, I watched my mom's world crumble. And at this point in time, I realized that I needed to get my life together because I could not witness my mom going through what she was already going through with Ryan, with myself. So I turned my life around. And for me, I was lucky. For me, I didn't have that addictive personality where, it was as hard as it was for others. Ryan, on the other hand, he went in and out of so many rehabs, and he truly didn't want to be an addict. He went in and out of rehabs, and when he finally came out of his last rehab, I remember talking to him, and I remember him telling me he's got this. He doesn't want to hurt me anymore. He doesn't want to hurt my dad, my mom, my grandmothers. Ryan was mean when he was on drugs. He looked at me at times and he would tell me, "I wish Mom and Dad never had you." Like, he would say the meanest things, but what I realized is it wasn't him. It was the drugs taking over. Ryan came out of that last rehab and he truly wanted to be better. And it was 15 days later, I was in Albany. I was getting ready to go to work. I lived in Albany at the time. And my parents called my boyfriend at the time and told my boyfriend, "You need to get her to Kingston right now." And all I remember were clothes being thrown into a bag, me getting thrown into the car wondering, where are we going? I have to go to work. And getting rushed back to Kingston, me screaming, "You're gonna get pulled over." And when we got to Kingston, I got to my grandmother's and I knew something was wrong. And I walked in and my parents took me out back alone where nobody else was. And they told me that my brother had overdosed on heroin. This wasn't the first time. The first couple times he was lucky. He was lucky because somebody was there and somebody said something. This time he wasn't so lucky. So my response was, "Well, where is he? Take me to him." And I'll never forget my mom looking at me and her eyes filling and her saying, "He's not coming back." You see, heroin took my only sibling from me. Sitting in an auditorium like this and thinking, because I know he sat in the same auditorium, and thinking, this can't happen to us. Addiction's powerful. These little choices that we make, that one hit of the joint, that one drink, that one Xanax, those little choices led us to where we are today. So, forgiveness, that's what this presentation is about. And when I first started speaking with Breaking the Cycle, I had no forgiveness at all. I found out that my brother was in a room with other people that night and they got scared. They thought they were going to get in trouble and they left. I found out that friends, family members, people that are close to me were the ones giving my brother drugs. There's so much forgiveness in my story, and what I learned was without that forgiveness, I couldn't move on and live my life. I forgave those kids that, were in that room with Ryan, because you know what? They were struggling too. I forgave the people that gave Ryan the drugs because you know what? They didn't realize what they were doing. they have issues too. The hardest thing for me was to forgive myself. After Ryan died, I lived in a big guilt-tripped world. I lived in this mindset that, it was my fault. My parents did so much for me and they didn't focus on Ryan, and it was my fault. I did drugs with him. Why did he die and I'm still here? But there's a purpose to everything, and once I realized that I can't go back, I can't change the past, all I could do was forgive myself, move forward, put one foot in front of the other. And the reason I'm still here is so that I can come to schools like this and I can share this story with you guys. Not so that you go home and you say, I heard a really sad story today, but so that you go home and you think about your actions. You think about your choices, so that when you see a friend struggling and acting out, you think to yourself why, and you say something. You can be the change for your friend. And I wish I could have been that change for my brother, but again, we can't go back in time. So I just want you guys to think about forgiveness. Think about, the things you say. Think about the things you do. Think about the choices you make. And hopefully you were listening today and you're thinking about how I'm telling you not to think that this can't happen to you. Thank you.